distant shrieking throughout this video, it's because a new family who have kids just moved into my apartment complex, and those kids love to play outside and yell all day. A lot of y'all seem to like my which Smash Bros characters have been smooched video, and to be honest, I liked it too. And I still had other questions about what all these characters have in common. So today I'm going to be taking a look at which Super Smash Bros. Ultimate characters can canonically play an instrument. Now, the rules. There will be 4 categories. 1. Canonically plays an instrument. Same as last time, the characters must play an instrument in the game's universe. TV shows, comics, etc. don't count. The exception is category number 2, characters that play instruments in official artwork. I can make a case for this being canon as long as the artwork is depicting the game's universe, but I decided to make it distinct because I knew some people would have a bug up their butts about it. And although using your voice to sing falls under the Merriam-Webster definition of an instrument as well, those bug-butted people are everywhere. So if a character is a good singer but can't play any instrument, they get their very own orange category. And the final category is for characters where there is no definitive proof that they can play any instrument or sing. Sucks to suck. The last thing is that a lot of these characters play multiple instruments across different games, and that's great for them, but I don't care. I care that they play one instrument. That's the only box I need to tick. So if you want to mention other times they play something in the comments, that's fine. But don't have that attitude like I missed something just because I didn't bring up every instance ever. I'm trying to keep this video from being 3 hours long. Are they building a skate ramp out there? And to prove just how succinct I'm being in this one, I'm gonna knock out 10 characters right off the bat. Mario Party 10 has a minigame called Steal the Beat in which the characters play the timpani, meaning that any playable character in Mario Party 10 can, in fact, play an instrument. The original Mario Party also had a minigame called Mario Bandstand that proved the cast's abilities, but Mario Party 10 has a larger playable roster than the first game, meaning Mario, and in turn Dr. Mario, Donkey Kong, Yoshi, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Bowser, Wario, and Rosalina can all be checked off. And we can add Bowser Jr. to that list with the Xylophone Home minigame in Mario Party Island Tour. See? Efficient. Since we did Donkey Kong there, let's go ahead and get the others from the series out of the way as well. Diddy Kong, as you saw in the rules section, can play multiple instruments, but the big bad King K. Rool cannot. I bet his belly makes a great sound though. On to the Legend of Zelda series, Link and Young Link can both play the ocarina, and in the Minish Cap, Toon Link joins the ocarina ranks. Ranks. She's musical. Zelda and Sheik can be seen playing lyres, and even Ganondorf gets his music on in Ocarina of Time when he plays the pipe organ that can be heard throughout the castle. Samus is next up on our list, and you might be surprised to learn that Samus does in fact play an instrument. In the B-type ending of Tetris, Samus can be seen playing what I'm assuming is a double bass since the cello is played sitting down. Also, Pete Bowser on the accordion. Way better than a timpani. So we can check Samus and Zero Suit Samus off, but while Dark Samus might possess the knowledge of how to play an instrument, she's never shown to play one like Samus is, so she's gotta go under no proof. You might have also noticed in the same screen that Pit from Kid Icarus is playing a violin, which feels less fitting than a lyre due to the whole angel thing, but maybe it's a play on him using a bow. Dark Pit, on the other hand, never plays a violin himself, but if he did have one, I like to imagine he'd only play like the Black Parade or something. Palutena also doesn't appear to play any instruments, but I imagine she can get these little guys to play or something whenever she wants, so it makes sense. Now when you think of Kirby and music, the first thing you might think of is his mic ability. But in this list, playing an instrument ranks higher, and with Kirby's bell power, he fully plays the handbells. His frenemies Meta Knight and King DDD also play instruments according to the cover artwork of the official sheet music. But since King DDD also plays instruments in DDD's Drum Dash Deluxe, this devilish dude dives into the does play division, while this dark deviant deserves diminished discernment. Damn. Moving on, Fox plays the Cloud Runner flute in Star Fox Adventures, while Falco and Wolf are sticks in the mud and don't play anything. Now let's talk Pokemon. Like in my Super Smooch Bros video, I'm fully counting moves in this discussion. So for instance, the move Sing does count as being able to sing. And when you think of Sing, I bet you think of Jigglypuff. But joke's on you, because Jigglypuff can play an instrument with Heal Bell. Pikachu is actually the singer of the group. That's right, Pikachu's been able to learn the move Sing from past Pokemon events, so they fall under the only singing category. But we're not just considering movesets here. No, Pokemon can also 100% play human instruments. For example, Ukulele Pichu is the player's partner Pokemon in Pokemon Ranger Guardian Signs, and as the name suggests, it plays the uke. However, the remaining Pokemon on the Smash roster can neither play a real-world instrument nor learn any moves I would count as singing. Like, Mewtwo can learn psychic noise, but the description describes it as unpleasant sound waves. And when a toddler screeches, you don't go, ah, singing. To round out the Pokemon category, the Pokemon trainer can play the Poke Flute, which is a flute, and therefore an instrument. Now, if you liked my lateral thinking for Pokemon, you're gonna love what I got in store for the Earthbound boys. Ness can use the item Horn of Life, which looks nearly identical to a Viking Warhorn, to cure conditions and revive his allies. And a horn is a signal instrument, baby! And Lucas gets his own musical item in Mother 3 with the Recollection Bell. Percussion! Like it or not, these count! Next up, we have Captain Falcon, and I don't think Captain Falcon has any mental energy to spend on anything other than racing. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and list all the characters that are way too obsessed with their careers to take up an instrument. Little Mac and Wii Fit Trainer are obsessed with fitness. Ryu, Ken, Terry, and Kazuya are obsessed with martial arts. Snake, Shulk, and Simon are obsessed with killing their enemies, and Sephiroth is obsessed with being extra. None of these people play instruments, and maybe they'd be a lot more chill if they did. While Cloud and Sephiroth actually fall in a fairly similar place on the brooding scale, Cloud actually does play an instrument, as he's able to play the piano in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Now, you might have noticed that Simon was on that list, but fellow Castlevanian Richter was not. And that is because an official guide to Castlevania Rondo of Blood has artwork of Richter playing electric guitar, which is insane, but I don't make the rules. Well, I do, I literally did, but. Continuing down the list, the Ice Climbers surprisingly don't play any instruments. That would be friggin' adorable if they did. Think about it, Nintendo. The Fire Emblem crew is up next, and in Fire Emblem Fates, Kaze reveals that Corrin is talented at playing the piano. And we can see that Marth sings in the Wii U game Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp FE. And I did all that research before finding out that the Fortifying Horn is an item that can be used in Fire Emblem Heroes, which all of the Smash Bros. Fire Emblem characters are a part of. And once I found that out, as per the rules, I said, good enough, and marked them all green. Moving right along, Mr. Game & Watch plays the bells. Sonic, although he doesn't sing or play an instrument in any of the games, does play the electric guitar on the CD's official cover art. Olimar doesn't play anything, and I hope you know that we can't count monotone whistling as an instrument. And as much as I know everyone's pulling for Rob, believe me, I'm rooting for him too. He doesn't play an instrument and he doesn't sing. And we have to accept that. Next up, we have the Animal Crossing villager, who can play any placeable or handheld instrument. My favorite being the maracas. Villagers can also play instruments in the game, and will actually play them to the rhythm and tune of a song if it's playing nearby. So if you use an amiibo to make Isabelle home in Happy Home Paradise, Isabelle can play an instrument too! Also, I literally bought an Isabelle amiibo card just for this video, so just please tell me in the comments it was worth it. Mega Man may not play any instruments in the games, but the official Mega Man X Legacy Collection soundtrack box art shows him rocking an electric guitar, which I would love for them to make canon in the games. Pac-Man and the Duck Hunt team don't play instruments. Not because they aren't human, but because their games are actually from a time before instruments. Wild, I know. Bayonetta, somewhat surprisingly, isn't shown playing an instrument in any of her games. Yes, she uses weapons themed after instruments, like the trumpet and magic flute, but if you look at her animations when using any of these, she's not actually playing them, she's just firing them. And I don't count that. That's a weapon. She sings in Bayonetta 3, but that's about it. And it's a pity. Here, user Ginger Ale Dragon shows us what we could have had. Up next are the Inklings, and not only do the Inklings play instruments, but pretty much all of the in-game music is attributed to fictional Inkling bands, who also have killer album cover art. I'm so incredibly curious if Ridley will ever fall under the yes category of any one of these videos. But it isn't this one. Sorry, Ridley. While we have yet to see a piranha plant play an instrument, they do have surprisingly lovely singing voices, which we see in Mario Wonder. Just another thing that made that game a trip. And if you haven't seen my video on whether or not the talking flowers in that game are all in Mario's head, give that one a watch, that's a good one. But as far as this list goes, piranha plants are singers only. Joker, however, gets a yes, since in Persona 5 Dancing in Starlight, Joker plays the electric guitar for a music video, which I am 100% counting. Hero from Dragon Quest plays the calamus flute, and as you may have guessed, Banjo and Kazooie plays the Banjo and Kazooie. Yes for both of them. Like last time, not enough information has come out about Min Min to prove she plays any instruments. But there's more than enough proof that Steve from Minecraft plays instruments, as he can play the note block, which is an in-world instrument. Ah, Pyra and Mithra, we meet again. I always feel like I'm metaphorically trying to avoid eye contact with them. Does that make sense? Anyway, they're an interesting case because while they can obtain musical instruments, I'm not actually gonna count it. And that's because the instruments get placed in their pouch to grant passive effects, which tells me they're not playing them. It's like if you keep a trumpet in your backpack, you can't say that you can play the trumpet, you know? You're just carting it around. This is different from, say, Ness and the Horn of Life, because Ness keeps the horn stored until he then uses it to help an ally. See, I can be very reasonable when it comes to technicalities. So Pyra and Mithra are a no. Sora surprised everyone by bursting into song for Kingdom Hearts 2, but in the same game, he also plays the Keyblade like a guitar in Stitch's summon spell. And it fully produces music, so it counts. For the Miis, as much as I wanted Trombone Champ to go here, these aren't actually Miis, they just look like them. And the Switch version doesn't even let you use your Miis either. Heartbreaking. However, Tomodachi Life pulls through for us once again, as Miis can play instruments while performing in the concert hall. Is there anything Tomodachi Life can't do? So as our final contestants, the Miis are a yes. So there are all the Smash Bros. Characters that can play an instrument. More useless knowledge for you to fill your brain with. Delicious. For the characters that don't play instruments, which instruments do you think would suit them most? For instance, petition and get Sephiroth added to Trombone Champ. Now, I'm not nearly big enough to get sponsors yet, so if you like the videos I'm making, becoming a patron is a great way to support the channel. Or consider becoming a channel member and getting some fun emojis and a badge next to your name. Either way, I appreciate y'all coming along for the journey, and I'll see you in the next video.
Goombanna is the wonder why she didn't come to play. Gaming vids that'll make you laugh and think and put them on replay. Intelligent, kind of funny, her community's #1. Stick around and kick your feet up. Goombanna has just begun.